of colored people, and we're talking to Alana McLaughlin, who has given us some information in reference to the establishment of slavery in 1619 and ending in 1865, and the outcome in a real sense of the 13th, 14th, and the 15th Amendment. And so, Alana, let's pick up where we left off during that first segment, and to have you to give us some information in reference to efforts to end the institution of slavery that ultimately led to the 13th Amendment. Who are some of the individuals and some of the ideas that played an important part with making enslaved people want to oppose slavery?
Well, some people just thought that slavery was wrong, and I am one of those people. But also some white people thought that slavery was wrong also. So, for example, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, they all thought that slavery was not a good thing, but they all tried their hardest to get rid of slavery, some more than others. As Martin Luther King said, he had a dream that one day we would all live in peace, and that one day we would all love each other. One day there would be no hatred, there would just be peace on earth. Rosa Parks had that same idea because they all thought that, hey, why can we not be treated equally like the white people? Are they better than us? Because every person in the world is the same in God's eyes.
Okay, and so there's a real need and a real sense among all people to end the institution of slavery, and that was done by the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. I think that at one time when we talked about some of these terrorist organizations, one of the groups that you talked about had to do with the birth of the nation. Why don't you give us some information in reference to the birth of the nation and how that fitted into slavery and etc.?
Well, some terrorist groups, they all started because there was this movie, The Birth of a Nation, and it talks about how they treated black people unfairly, and they thought that it would just be, you know, a good idea to just treat them like they're nothing. And The Birth of a Nation really started the chaos back, because when it kind of simmered down, when that movie came out, everybody just rose up, and we were all, the black people were all, well, that's unfair because we can be treated equally because slavery is abolished. And then on the white side, they were like, you are nothing, you mean nothing to us. So The Birth of a Nation really started chaos in basically Mississippi to everywhere.
And so, so what about this? The Birth of a Nation, as I understand it, was a movie. As a matter of fact, it was a movie, and it dealt with a specific organization. So what organization did this Birth of a Nation deal with? Well,
the movie, it started the 3rd Ku Klux Klan, and it started them up because it reminded them that the former Ku Klux Klanners said that they are going to push black people back into slavery, and they are going to work till they die to make sure that black people do not have the same rights as whites.
Well, this was immediately after the war in 1865, but the organization you're talking about was long after even the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was started. When did this organization start? What was it all about, the NAACP? Who are they concerned with?
Well, the NAACP, also known as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, started in 1909, and it started out with only 32 people, and they would meet in Maryland, Baltimore, where they would discuss all the issues of black people not having their own rights, and they have to be segregated. And they have to drink over here, or eat over here, or get shoes at this place, and they weren't treated like the white people were treated, because back then white people were like mad. They were given all the best